If we are self-identified abolitionists or self-identified folks who actually do want to create alternatives to the systems that we've been dealt, that does include also the funding system.
So if you're a foundation, if you're part of an agency, what are you doing to end mass incarceration? Are you hiring us? Are you putting us on boards? You have events in your own home or in your organization. Do you bring people of color? Do you bring directly impacted people, formerly incarcerated people to your events?
Particularly to the white allies, refuse to do this work anymore if it does not include a diverse coalition of voices of people.
Things that funders can do, things that folks like you can do, is understand, is to trust the work. Fund the people who know what they're doing to do the work without these requirements, without having to jump through hoops, because that just complicates it. And at the end of the day, nobody gets what they need.
I don't get paid to do this work. None of it that I know gets paid to do this work, right? But think of how much more work we could do if we had a little bit of dollars in our pockets.
Funding for supplies is great. Funding for transportation would be dope.
You're not worrying about the tax deduction and not worrying about whatever. Give money.
The generation of the American Indian movement, the Chicano Power movement, the Black Power movement, and there's a misconception that those movements weren't funded either, and it's not true. In fact, if you look at the sort of dollars that were circulating to support SNCC and to support the Black Panthers, and you look at what that value would be now compared to then, much more money was actually going out to support organizing on the ground than is happening right now. What we've done as a result of the nonprofit industrial complex is movement and organizing has become professionalized to the extent that now intermediary organizations and folks who aren't directly impacted are speaking on our behalf, and it's become sanitized and restricted by the so-called politics of quote-unquote civility.
Don't just think that because organizations are mentioned in the media, they are the exclusive in people moving a movement.
It's really easy to fund the shiny thing, right? The thing that's getting all the attention that the media wants to talk about, but that's not always the thing that's doing the work, quite honestly. And sometimes it's doing the work on the backs of that thing that looks a little rusty and limping along the street with one leg, on the corner, and being willing to have conversations with the not so shiny thing.
We're saying that the really brilliant, amazing, revolutionary ideas come out of the grassroots, come out of the groups that are led by people who are most affected by the injustice that we're challenging.
When we started out, we started funding TJIJP. TJIJP basically got a grant every year. And then one year, we got a call, and TJIJP said, you know what, don't give us this grant. We're not gonna apply this year. We want another trans group to apply because we think they need it. I took that story to a meeting of other funders, and they thought I was lying. They literally challenged me, this is not, groups don't do that. And I said, our groups do, because we support movement, and that's what movement does.